2023 has been an incredible year for gaming. Let's be honest, guys, we've been eating fantastic. From stellar remakes to innovative games bringing to life classic IPs to the return of absolutely legendary franchises. The year has taken off quickly and it's only going to get better. For now though, I want to take you through my personal list of the 5 must-play games of the first half of 2023 so far. Let's dive in. At number 5, it's Dead Space, the remake. Now, I have to be honest, I've never played Dead Space before, not the first, second, or third. Pretty sure they made 3. And technically, I don't know if I'm really qualified to talk on the advancements the game made from the original releases to what we now have here in 2023. But I will say this, I'm not a fan of horror games. I hope I said that right. And so a game like Dead Space that thrives with that genre somehow managed to overcome a lot of the classic restraints I tend to feel in a survival horror game and still make me feel powerful enough to the point where I genuinely care about the franchise. And I have to say, mwah, props to the team that made this happen. You did a fantastic job and you made a lot of longtime fans of Dead Space very happy. Now, number 4 is the Resident Evil 4 remake. Fitting, isn't it? Similar to the last one, again, given my caution to the genre overall, I never gave the original a try. And it's odd because I was one of those kids that liked the idea of Resident Evil. I read the books, I enjoyed content that wasn't necessarily in the game, but I couldn't play them myself. So I remember really enjoying the original movie. I'm not sure how well that one holds up, but I remember when the 4th one came out, it was considered a genre-defining evolution for the series, along with horror games in general. Again, hope I'm saying that right. Now, what I can say about this one is I eventually did play Resident Evil 4 a bit on the Nintendo Switch. I probably made it about halfway through and then got distracted, but now we have this gem of a remake, and my gosh, does the RE engine shine, does this game shine. And I have to ask you guys, do you feel like it's a bit harder than the original game? I'm that kid playing on assisted mode, and I have no shame in admitting it, but I'm having a lot of fun. I'm hoping to platinum this game, and I just have to say, if you're a fan of Resident Evil, if you're a fan of the recent remakes, or if you've ever been a fan of this genre at all, this is a game for you to try. Even though I am more scared of this game than I am of Dead Space. Number 3, Diablo 4. Now, the Diablo franchise has been around since I've been a young kid. I think the first one came out in 96 or 95 or so. And I've got to see the series evolve along with that time. I remember my cousin playing Diablo 2 for the first time, and believe it or not, the first time I actually put my hands on the controls of one of these games is Diablo 3 on the PlayStation 4, and at that point I then proceeded to buy it for the Nintendo Switch and beat it there and play many seasons, and also for my PC as well, which really surprised me. Whenever I played the PC version, I realized that it was kind of a different game in terms of controller input. It didn't feature controller support. That being said, Diablo 3 had its issues, but it did revolutionize how action RPGs could be played on a console, and Diablo 4 really hit it out of the park with the launch so far, without a doubt. And if you're a fan of action RPGs, if you're a fan of the franchise, this is a game you need to check out, and I recommend checking it out anywhere you want because it has cross-play and cross-progression. For number 2, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Now, I'll be honest, number 2 and 3 may swap at some point throughout the rest of the year, but Star Wars Jedi Survivor did something I didn't think was quite possible. It improved upon Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order in ways I just didn't foresee. And you'll see that's a common trend for game sequels this year. But I digress. This game takes everything you knew and love about the first game and expanded upon it. It gave you a little bit more of a mix of an open world game without truly making you feel overwhelmed. It still kept that classic, superb platforming gameplay mixed with stellar combat, added new features to lightsaber combat, and that original Metroidvania-like formula, but in that 3D realm. It's all still intact, it's all still there. The story is great, and I'll say this, I think it's one of the better Star Wars stories we frankly have gotten over the years, The Mandalorian aside. Now, I know this game launched with some technical issues on PC. Being transparent, I've played and bought this game for the PlayStation 5, and while there were some issues at times, for the most part, it's been seamless, and what issues did exist were simply easy to ignore considering all the fun I was having. And that's why this is my number 2 game for the first half of 2023. And my number 1 game for the first half of 2023, I'm sure you guessed it, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I struggle, as you see, to find words. Breath of the Wild, one of my favorite games of all time. I had questions, I had concerns. Can they capture the same magic they did? Not only did they capture that magic, but they gave us new forms of magic we didn't even know we wanted. And I am just beyond grateful for a game like this to come around. Now, the Legend of Zelda series has always been my favorite. In fact, when I was a little kid, that's one of my first memories is watching my father play the OG Legend of Zelda on the NES and beat it. And from there, it's just kind of been a continuous love affair, if you will. Tears of the Kingdom, I put 85 hours into that game. I'm still nowhere near to finishing the main story, and frankly, I don't want to. There's so much about this world I want to explore. There's so much I want to achieve. There are so many enemies I want to find out how to beat, like those Gleelocks. It's just a fantastic game, and frankly, it may be my number 1 game of the last few years. We have to wait and see, and I say that explicitly because Final Fantasy 16 looks frighteningly good as well. So, it's an amazing game. If you have a Switch, you should play it. And I'll leave it at that. Well, there you have it. Those are my top 5 games so far in 2023. Games that if you have access to and you're looking for something to play, I highly recommend it. Now, I'm sure there are a ton of games I've missed, indie games, smaller studio releases, and so forth. But let's be honest, there have been some jam-packed, stellar releases from some high production value studios, and I think we should all be grateful for that. So, I hope you liked the video. Have a fantastic day and stay tuned because pretty soon I'll be posting a video for the top 5 games that are coming out in 2023 still that I am most excited for. Have a good one.